Hello everyone, I'm home. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I told you guys that I was really aggravated at my Perfume tour video because of the things that showed in the bright light that don't normally show. And you guys were so kind and made the nicest comments about how don't worry about it, you worry too much. We loved it. So I'm watching the last video that I put out. I think I put it out yesterday. And I got to the last picture on that video after I had posted it. And please like and subscribe was all the way off the screen. You couldn't even see half of the words. So I goofed up twice. Then I didn't like that video. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm 2 for 2. I've messed up twice now. So I got up this morning. It was a beautiful fall day. I waited till the dew was off the ground and I started mowing. And I was mowing out beside our barn. And I got to thinking of something that I wanted to show you guys that I don't believe I've ever showed you before. If I have, I'm sorry. And I want you to enjoy this because today's video is just going to be fun. If I mess up, I mess up, but here we go. I thought I'd take you out here beside our barn under this huge tree that we love so much and show you where we sometimes come out here and eat. I just throw like a vinyl tablecloth over it when we're not using it and put the chairs back in the barn, and I leave it decorated with the mums and pumpkins, and when we want to come out here and eat, we do. And sometimes a girlfriend will stop by and we'll come out here and sit and talk and have some cookies or hot chocolate or whatever. And I just love it. It gives you an opportunity to really enjoy the weather and enjoy the scenery. And as you can see, the highway's right up there. Car just went by. There's a lane going back to the pond behind our house. And we don't even hear the traffic. We just sit out here and talk and enjoy the weather and enjoy the scenery. And it's fun. Something different. Here comes a train. And this is our barn. My husband likes IU, of course. And the train will be going through there just in a few minutes. And there's a trailer back there. I think that's the fish stocking trailer. They restock the pond out there occasionally, and I think that's the trailer that just stocked it again. I'm not real sure. But yeah, do something different. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody wants to do this, but you surely have a little area in your backyard where you can find a cheap table at a thrift store and some old chairs that cost $2 a piece and some old thrifted stuff, and just throw it together and give your loved one a nice little experience of enjoying dinner outside. Sometimes it's just a Subway sandwich that was left over from yesterday. Sometimes it's leftover meatloaf sandwiches. It's never anything real fancy, but it's so nice to come out here and sit. And I like to use this tablecloth. I have a couple of others I use. It's mostly got a vinyl tablecloth on it in case it rains. But I don't like to have the whole table covered because I love this table so much. That's the one I got for $15 at Goodwill. It had black legs. I think it's just a Walmart table, one of the cheaper farm tables, and someone has taken 2 big planks of wood and put over the top of it, which I adored, and that's why I wanted the table. But I didn't have my truck that day, so I had to call my niece and nephew, and she and her husband went and picked it up for me. And look how it's so cool on the ends, and it matches my chair so well. I just grab a couple of chairs out of the barn and set them out here. Sometimes I have real candlelight if it's dark enough and not windy, and sometimes I use a battery operated candle if we're sitting out here and it's starting to get dark. It's just something special to do for my hubby and my friends. And one time I had several of my bar cousins. I say bar because they're from the bar farm in East Lynn, Illinois. They're my dad's cousins, my second cousins. And I had them all over here a few times for lunch. We had a lot more, we had a bigger table then and more chairs. And it was great because some of the older ones have passed on now, and I brought out their families and my family's dishes and recipes, and I made the oatmeal raisin cookies that Aunt Dora used to make, and I made chicken salad that Aunt Joyce used to make, and it was just a wonderful afternoon. They brought pictures and we sat and looked at pictures, and we just had a wonderful time. So I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this, and it'll soon be getting too cold to do it, and I'm gonna have to pack it all back in the barn. I just bring a big TJ Maxx bag out here with my dishes and my pretties that can blow away, but the mums and the tables stay here all the time. So I thought I'd show you how it starts. I just brought that table out. Like I said, I think it's a Walmart table. Someone's probably painted the legs black. It looks like it's been painted. And then they put a new top on it of old wood. There's 2 big pieces of wood, and it's so pretty. When I saw it at Goodwill that day, I think it was $15. I thought I have to have that table for a display table in my store, and I've used it for that. But when it came time to do this, I brought it outside, and I have this, it's not really a tablecloth, it's a big heavy velvet scarf. It's real pretty on both sides, heavy fringe. It lays on the table really nice and doesn't blow away because it's so heavy. And I just kind of put it at a diagonal. Now, I have lots of other tablecloths. You guys know I have a lot of rust-colored ones and orange ones and gold ones. I have some that have leaves on them, but I wanted something different and not screaming fall. I just wanted it to look pretty all summer. And sometimes before the mums come out, I put other flowers there. And then I just bring out stuff from in the house. I like my little rusted iron, wrought iron pieces, and like I said, the votive that was in here burnt completely down. So now I put a new votive in it. And I said it's for my husband and my friends, but it's for me too. I like to sit out here and just do things. And it's just so calming and peaceful. And I thought the copper looked so pretty and that big leaf. I think this is a sycamore tree. And they have gigantic leaves. And I also pick up those kind of leaves at Brad's house because they're so big and pretty, and I've dried them out before. And like I said, I think I bought this little yellowware bowl at Sherry's yard sale, so I always think of her when I put it on the table. And my brass candlesticks, now I do take those in. And my shop is right next to this in the barn, so it's easy to just take things back and forth and set them inside the door of the shop and not let them get all wet. But the vinyl tablecloth protects the table. And I love those little napkins I found. They're actually dish towels that have the burgundy flowers and the little bitty pumpkins. What I did was I just folded up the dish towel and just tucked it under the plate, so we had plenty. Because when you get done eating, you got some things you got to take back into the house, and you can just wrap it up in the dish towel and take it in. And my TJ Maxx bag's always nearby, and I just put everything in it and haul it up to the house in one big tote. And these are my Johnson Brothers Ironstone. They're very old. I probably thrifted them, both of them. And they don't really match, but they match good enough. And yeah, it's just pretty. And I like to sit out here. And everyone that comes out here really enjoys it. And we're really lucky. We're just on the outskirts of town, but we're, like I said, close to the highway and the railroad track. But you wouldn't know it sitting out here. It's just like you got your own little farm in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes the mums get kind of dry because I'll forget to come out and water them. And when I was mowing today, I brought a gallon of water out here and watered them real good. I don't know how much longer they're going to stay because we're getting into the end of fall here. So I'll probably have to take them back up to the porch. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little outside tour of my outside table that we enjoy so much. And I'll be honest with you, if it stayed warm enough, I would have Thanksgiving dinner out here. That's how much I love it. But my husband, he likes his barn. He likes to look at his barn. He wants to paint a big flag on it, but I'm kind of against that because I like just the IU. I painted that IU on there for him, and it's 10 feet tall, and it needs repainted, but Marcy's getting too old to do that. So I'm out here mowing today, and it was such a beautiful fall day. I thought, have I ever showed him my table? So I got the truck out and brought some of my dishes, and I set the table to show you guys how pretty it was. And I'll tell you what I do when I'm mowing. If Brad's not around, or Kevin, or one of the boys, I turn my table upside down on its wooden top, and I slide it out of the way. I mow, and then I slide it back and tip it back up. That's how I have to do things when I don't have someone to help me. And sometimes I slide it from my barn out to that area to do it. But I put the tablecloth on a diagonal because I like to see some of that table showing. I have tried it with just the table itself, and it's not near as pretty. So we got up yesterday morning to go to another Facebook Marketplace pickup an hour away, and I made breakfast, and we took some sandwiches with us, and we just took off and drove and enjoyed the beautiful scenery Oh my gosh, the old barns and the pretty pumpkin stands. We stopped at a couple of those. I bought some apple butter, but I didn't buy any pumpkins or mums because we're just about out of that. The pumpkins did really well this year, and people have a lot of them to sell, so they're going to have to be marking them down. Of course, you can set pumpkins out till Thanksgiving. But we drove along, and we were really having a good time. We had a successful marketplace pickup. And I'll tell you about that in the next video because it's kind of fun. Then we went up to our son's because I had a little project I wanted to do at their place. And we stopped in the Goodwill, and I found this little oak table that was adorable. It had a little drawer in it. And someone had put glass knobs on, or brass knobs on it. And I'm going to put glass on it. But it had really long legs, and we couldn't get it in the car. We didn't have our truck. And I had a saw with me because I was going to do this project at my son's. And the kids that were loading it up at Goodwill said, we may need to cut it off. We may need to cut those legs off. But they squeezed it into the back seat of my car. And my son helped me cut the legs off when we got back to his house. And I'll show you in a later video what I'm going to do with that. You're going to think it's adorable. It's going to be another little child's table because it's got a bigger surface on it. I can put more dishes on it. And I can't wait to show you. So I looked around in their Goodwill, and they had another one of those little double candles holders like I saw, or what I picked up at that free sale. And it's almost like it, only they only had one. And usually if they have two, one of them's got a chip in it. And then they had this little, I call them one-room schoolhouse desk because I have one that was my grandma's, and she taught in this one-room schoolhouse. And it was only $9.99, but I couldn't get it in my car, and I didn't need it anyway. But they had a little one they painted black. It was $15. So we're driving along and enjoying the weather so much, and I got to thinking about my cologne. My husband said, you smell so good. I want to tell you guys about this and share this information. Since the 80s, my go-to fall and winter cologne has always been Cinnabar by Estee Lauder. I love it. It's a real warm, spicy, kind of strong scent, but it's beautiful in the fall and winter. Well, a friend of mine told me that they had changed the formula, and my bottle was getting pretty empty, and I've been looking for some more, and it's expensive. Macy's and different places around $80 a bottle. Ulta has it, and if they have it in, it's $80, and I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger on that. Now, years ago, when I wore it, it was always in a red box, and it had a red cap, and it's come to be known as you either get the clear cap, which is the new stuff in the gold box, or you get the red cap with the old style. Well, you go online, and there are people that have the red cap, and they know what it's worth because since they changed the formula, people think that it's different and they want the old one. And I found this one, which was a really deep amber color, which made me think it was probably not as good as smelling, maybe too strong. And it was $187. And I found several. They're usually $80 and up for the red cap if you can find it. So my friend that told me that the formula had changed, she said she hadn't tried it, but she heard that it had changed because they had to take one ingredient out. So I was nervous about it, but I wanted some. So one day I just got smart and looked on Amazon, and it was high. And then I went on Walmart.com. Guys, Walmart had it for $40 in free shipping. Now, Walmart doesn't sell this in their store, and they don't carry it on their website. Well, they do, but they source it from somewhere, and they must buy a lot because they can sell it cheaper. And I found that to be the case with Walmart in a lot of things. So when you're looking on Amazon, check Walmart.com too. And I ordered it, and of course it's in the gold bottle, clear cap. I was nervous that maybe it didn't smell the same, and it may have been a little bit different size bottle. May not even have been Cinnabar. I didn't know. But it came within 2 days, $40, done. I opened it. It was the same size as my bottle. It smelled exactly the same. And I was back in the saddle again with my Cinnabar for fall and winter. And I just love it. Every morning when I spritz it on, it just makes me so happy. And I've used about 3 bottles of it since the 80s. And this one will last me a long time. I just do one spritz. But I wanted to share that with you guys in case you're ever looking for something like that. Now, after my 2 debacles with those last 2 videos where the dust and the debris was flying through my room and the letters were going off the screen. I was so embarrassed. I just wanted to do a fun video with you guys. My channel has grown so much in the last week. I can't hardly believe it. So if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody you know so I can stay on here a long time. And I just wanted to give you guys an extra video this week and a fun one. And I love you from the bottom of my heart.